Yes, sir. 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 Clearer, sir. Clearer. Clearer, sir. Clearer, sir. Clearer, sir. Clearer, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, Satish, sir. சார் இன்னும் யார் வரணும் சார்? ஏன்னா இன்னும் 30 மெம்பர்ஸ் தான் உள்ளே அலோவ் பண்ண முடியும். நம்ம யாருன்னு கொஞ்சம் மெசேஜ் போட்டு விடுங்க சார். நான் கரெக்டாக அலோவ் பண்ணுறேன். வைஸ் சான்சலர் சார் வரல இன்னும். அஜெண்டாவில் உள்ளவங்கெல்லாம் வரணும்ல. Ma'am, please send me my WhatsApp number. சதீஷ் சார், சதீஷ் எனக்கு நேம் டைப் பண்ணி அனுப்புங்க சார் வாட்ஸ்அப்பில். என்ன நேமில் உள்ளே வருவாங்கன்னு. ஏன்னா இன்னும் 30 மெம்பர்ஸ் தான் நம்ம உள்ளே அலோவ் பண்ண முடியும். ஸோ நம்ம அஜெண்டாவில் உள்ள எல்லாரையும் உள்ளே அலோவ் பண்ணணும்ல சார், அதுக்காக தான். சார் அதர் நேம் சார்? சார் சார் அனில்ஸ்வரம் சார் அவைலபிள் சார். வந்துட்டாங்க சார். வேறு யார்? நீங்கள் அந்த வேறு யார் நீங்கள்? சார் சார் ஹலோ சார் ஐஃபோன் போட்டு எதுவுமே வரலைங்க சார்.
Storytelling journey, legacy of storytelling in teaching. Every cell in our body has a story.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir, you are.
The Yaman is asking the man heart and mind. It goes both to heart and mind of listeners. Listener. That is the reason storytelling is very important. There are more than 158 methods, pedagogies. 158 methods. You can dance and teach. You can laugh and teach. You can sing and teach. You can take them to field visit. You can take them to Singapore, America, teach. You can give them assignment. You can conduct a debate. You can conduct studies. You can make dramas. So others are there for a teacher and trainer to teach the subject. But unfortunately, most of the times we restrict ourselves with a non-lecture method. What I am doing now, talking, only lecture method. So lecture method. We should not stick to lecture method. We should go beyond lecture method, student-centric method. That is the reason, thanks to Honorable Government of India and other state governments in India, they insist on student-centric method, trainee-centered method. So teachers should not dominate in the class. Students should dominate. Listeners should dominate. Their participation should be there. We should not only tell the story, we should ask the child to tell a story. So the real involvement will be there. So in that way, I am just emotionally involved to talk more, but my time, 10 minutes over. I sincerely thank all those who are patiently listening and all those who gave me an opportunity to share my ideas with you. Once again, I congratulate organizers on behalf of all respected participants. I congratulate organizers for taking up a great job, noble task you are doing. Many will be benefited and all of them will reach the society. It is the direct impact and the implications are there in the society because of your hard work. You spend your time, you spend your money, you are giving your knowledge, you are organizing, lot of things you are doing. but ultimately the society is very much benefited. So with the folded hands, I congratulate, I appreciate, I say, I respect all of you. Similarly, on behalf of all organizers, I congratulate, I appreciate hundreds of participants both live in the face, because you are the heroes and
what water of the ant enables it to mold. The rigidity of the tree enables it to stay rooted. Everything and everybody has been designed with a proportion of uniqueness to serve a purpose. He is here to be he, an Indian, a civil servant, a treasured masterpiece. The purpose of governance is not merely to come up with great ideas and plans, but to make things happen on the ground as well. During his career spanning 38 years, Mr. Anil Swarup attempted to make it happen. Born in Allahabad, UP, he earned his master's degree in political science from Allahabad University in 1978, where he was also awarded the Chancellor's Gold Medal for being the best all-round student. The sense of service to one's fellow men was ingrained in him early. He served the Indian Police Service for a year and then stepped into the Indian Administrative Service in 1981. Molded and chiseled at the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, this out-of-the-box thinker bagged the Director's Gold Medal for the Best Officer Trainee. He threw his head, heart and hands into serving India, held various assignments within both the state of Uttar Pradesh and the central government. This change maker served as Secretary to Government of India in the Ministry of Coal, where he handled the aftermath of the coal scam. Thereafter, he served as Secretary, School Education and Literacy, where he attempted to foster public-private partnership to improve the quality of school education. This strategy, Mr. Clean, donned many hats, accolades many. He was nominated as one of the policy change agents by the Economic Times for 4 years, 2010, 12, 15 and 2016. He was selected as one of the 35 action heroes in India Today's annual edition. Consistency is the hallmark of greatness. Anyone can perform an occasional act of greatness. Truly great are those who can consistently perform acts of greatness. Author par excellence, his books, Not Just a Civil Servant, and recently, Ethical Dilemmas of a Civil Servant, recorded the travails and tribulations of a civil servant as a decision maker and internal observer of the system. His books are a deep personal reckoning of a man who attempted to make things happen with the hope to inspire others to do the same. A man who would make anybody's list of greatest and nicest bureaucrats India has seen. Dream we must, that all of us know. But all great dreamers dreamt great dreams, not necessarily during the best of times, but during the toughest of times. Independent of the circumstances, dream they did. And on the sheer strength of their dreams, organizations, states, nations, and humanity stood up. Ladies and gentlemen, let us stand up for this bureaucrat par excellence, a man who has set benchmarks across all the portfolios he's touched. He's made a difference, still making a difference. The face, the force, and the vision behind today's 20. His is a story to be told. Mr. Anil Swarup, IAS, retired, former Education Secretary to Government of India. Sir, we are all tuned in.
Thank you very much, Gayatri. It's extremely humbling to listen to you. I was wondering who are you talking about, because I don't think I deserve the words that you mention about me. It's truly, truly humbling. And in fact, I'm here in this webinar because of you, because of your persuasive skills. It was a very tight day for me, but when the message came from you and you insisted, I'm not personally very good at storytelling. And they know that Nanu is handicapped as far as visualizing stories. These stories that I mentioned in my books that I have released, because probably what I have written in the book at least. And that brings me to a very important aspect. First of all, let me compliment the organizers for thinking in terms of looking at stories as a medium of communicating thoughts, of making an individual or even trying to learn anything. The best bit of storytelling is that it is not merely that your mind gets penetrated, it's your heart gets influenced. And stories are truly remarkable way of communicating a thought, or communicating a fact. In fact, learning itself can be made so much simpler if it is couched in a story. If we start learning things by heart, by rote, it becomes very, very difficult. But try and tell it through a story, and I have been a personal beneficiary of that. I distinctly remember the stories that my grandmother told to me. I have not forgotten even a single one of them. And then I try and pick up those stories to tell my grandchildren. So stories carry on. They can have enormous impact. But then I'm also glad that you are focusing on teacher. You are trying to equip the teacher with tools through which they can become more effective. The child is not there around us. Unfortunately, we are very fond of negative. That's why we are negative. In a newspaper, if there is a positive news, we will not need it. If there's a negative news criticizing somebody, we willingly read it and willingly discuss it. We feel good in criticizing others. Now, what I tried to do when I was coming, create a narrative which is a parallel narrative of goodness. If we look around, and especially as teachers, it will be very important when you use stories as a tool, convey a positive message. Accept the fact of negativity. It's not that you should deny it, but don't let anyone feel that the nation wants to know only negative things. The world has either collapsed or is about to collapse. No, there are a lot of good things that are happening. And if we convey to the child a positivity and goodness around, he will develop this appreciation of good work. And once you start appreciating good work, then you'll start feeling good about it. It's a question from deep inside, while appreciating somebody, whether you have that sense of goodness. You haven't done anything, someone else has it. But you feel good about appreciating, and it is in that context I've started this movement called Nexus of Good, where what we are trying to do is to identify good work, understand that good work, appreciate that good work. It's very, very important. And then try and replicate that good work and scale that good work. Why? Because it is only by demonstrating that good can happen to a child other than through storytelling. You can't have a book, you can't have a class, you can't have an examination. Through stories, you are trying to rebuild that image in the child, in the mind of a child, whereas the behavior works. In fact, one of the underpinning principles of my book, Ethical Dilemmas of a Civil Servant, is ethical behavior pays. And through these 70 stories, I've tried to demonstrate that there may be a perception that ethical behavior is not possible. What I'm trying to demonstrate in the book is not only is it possible, it is beneficial. And that can be done through storytelling. My compliments to the organizers for this wonderful webinar. And it's always a pleasure to listen to Gayatri, because her language is absolutely amazing. How does she come up with this wonderful rate, which I have to wonder as to whether I deserve them or not. But thank you very much for that. God bless all of you.
For the message. It's not your mind that gets penetrated, it's your heart that gets influenced. Thank you for the lovely message. Ace Innovation, destiny of not only India, but global destiny is shaped not in the classrooms, but in the aura of Ace Innovation. A man of commitment and optimism with great wealth of experience, Mr. Satish Kumar, Vice President, Global Operations and Strategy, that each of us admire, is his favorite quote. Sir, may we have you to deliver the vote of thanks?
Thank you. Good morning, one and all. It has been a great start. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of Ace Innovation India and Ace Innovation Singapore. And I take this opportunity to thank TNTEU, the Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, for giving us this great opportunity to drive the vision of storytelling, and also take this opportunity to thank the participants who have joined us in large numbers. It has been a great numbers, more than 2,400 teachers and today, this morning. It has been a great inspiration. I think is coming true. And this is all possible with the support and blessing. Professor Panchanatham sir, thank you. Thanks a lot. With all your support and blessings, this is not possible. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I also place my sincere thanks to Mr. And that will support the teaching, community. And thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us at such a short notice. And you have always been a great support and inspiration for us, because anything to teach us, you are the first one to join ACE Innovation. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. And our sincere thanks to Professor Govindan, sir, who has extended tremendous and with his team from the university, a great coordination, sir. Thank you, Professor Govindan, sir. Thank you for all the support. And our sincere thanks to Professor Balakrishnan, sir, for his excellent talk during the inauguration and the support he has extended with his team. Thank you, sir. Our special thanks to Dr. Shivasakti, madam. Definitely, she is another heroine, I would say, and Vice Chancellor perfectly quoted. She is another Sachin Tendulkar. Yes, she has been running around to coordinate in spite of the time, the day, 24/7. Thank you. Thanks a lot, madam. Anything I would see, night 10 o'clock also, or early morning, 5:30, she sends a message, Satish sir, this is not okay, this has to be done perfectly. Thanks a lot. I think it shows the inspiration. TNTU has got another a great personality. Thank you, Shivashakti madam, for all your support. And my sincere thanks to our founder and CEO, Major Nagarajan Narayanan from Singapore. We used to place our sincere thanks, Major, most fondly called as Major amongst our team. Thank you, sir. I used to place our sincere thanks and appreciation. I think your vision is coming true in India, and we place our sincere thanks on behalf of ACE Innovation India. Thank you, Major, and our COO, Dr. Nina Gayatri, networking women from Chennai, sitting from Chennai. She travels across globally. So virtually she travels, and she's the connect source for ACE Innovation. Thank you, Dr. Nina. It has been a great support, and thank you. And I think with all your support for the next 5 days, we are going to have wonderful storytellers, speakers from across the globe. Thank you, Nina, once again. And my special thanks to Mr. Balamurugan, Assistant Professor from TNTU, for all the trouble-free hosting and the support he has rendered during the process of organizing. Thank you. And my heartfelt thanks to the ACE Innovation team. Without them, this event is not possible. And with all your support, ACE Innovation team, kudos to you. And I would place the names on record. Sashikala madam, special thanks to you. Mr. Prabhakar, Mr. Gunashekar, Ms. Shalini, she is another lieutenant of Dr. Nina Gayatri, for connecting to the rest of the world. Thank you, Shalini. Ms. Vijay, for all your emceeing activities. Ms. Salma, Vanita, for Sanjuna for coordination. Rohit and Jaya for that wonderful brochure. Thank you all. Mr. Dhanush, yes, thank you for your support, Dhanush, for all the support you have been extending to the team. And of course, last but not least, once again, thank the entire TNTU team. We from ACE Innovation join to thank the entire TNTU team for all this support, way forward for us from today. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Satish, I'd like to thank Satya and Rudresh also.
Oh, right. Yes. Joined us. Yeah. Thank you, Satya and Rudresh, which reason.
And our colleague, Mr. S.
Yeah, Mr. Balamurugan, yes, he has been a great support for us. He's been running around. Yeah, thank you. I've mentioned them. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Satish, sir. So before we move on, I'd like to say that Miss Elizabeth Arnott couldn't join us today. She will be joining us in one of our future sessions planned for the next 4 days. So let's begin. Maya Angelou once said, "There's no greater agony could unleash is beyond imagination." Today, we have with us two eminent personalities to share the views on the power of storytelling. Let me introduce Ms. Sangeeta, an alumna of St. Xavier's Calcutta and Haas School of Business, UC Berkeley, Ms. Sangeeta has more than 1.5 decades of experience in business development and sales and marketing across different sectors, including financial services, events, training, and technology. She was one of the first few employees who contributed to setting up DNB's training business in India. Prior to DNB, she has worked for 6 years as regional manager in companies like Chrysler Limited and Standard & Poor's Company. She has experimented with launch and e-commerce venture. She also has worked as a director at leading MNCs like Anacor Group and is currently working as an exec director with TurboStart. Sangeeta's interests and accomplishments are diverse. She was recognized as one of the top 101 inspiring women in India in 2015 and was the Corporate Diva winner in 2016. She was recognized as Supermom in Bangalore in 2015 and also received Iconic Woman Award by Women Economic Forum in 2020. She loves traveling, music, and theatre. She is a regular speaker at various forums addressing areas of succession and estate planning, diversity and inclusion, women's empowerment, etc. Recently, she authored a book on motivational anthologies named Celebrate Your Wings, which has received #second best-selling status on Amazon. Over to you, ma'am.
Ms. Sangeeta, is it audible?
Hello, Ms. Sangeeta will be shortly joining us.
Meanwhile,
I realized that my cookie packet, which I had thought was being opened with child, with so much of luggage, hungry, and without expecting anything in return, he gave with a smile, and he did not even look back after that. That is empathy. It taught me empathy. Next, I would like all of you to do a small exercise along with me. I would be telling you to do something. Just watch me do this and just do it after me. Can we? Can you touch your head, cheeks, chin, head, cheeks, nose, head, nose, head. What did I do just now? I said head and I was touching my cheeks. Many of you would have done the same thing. We as human beings do not listen. We actually assume things, we see things, we don't listen much. God has given us 2 years to listen. Listen to stories, listen to people, to understand people. We don't do that. And then there is another, one more story which I'd like to tell you before the next speaker comes in. A lot of things in life we do not actually give. If you look at, there is in Palestine, there are 2 seas, the Sea of Galilee and the Dead Sea. Both these seas get water, their water source is the same, the River Jordan. If you look at Sea of Galilee, it's full of happiness, lot of animals, plants, birds, children playing, fish, fresh water, there's life. But if you look at the the Dead Sea, it's absolutely dead. There's nothing in that. No life at all. How come? How can this be? One source of water, one so alive, one so dead. Because the Sea of Galilee gets water and gives it out into the ocean. Every drop it gets, it gives. The Dead Sea gets water, fresh water, but keeps it all to itself. So as teachers, it is our bounden duty to receive knowledge and give knowledge, to learn the values to imbibe the values that we have learned. Do not keep anything. The more you give, the more you grow. Dead Sea was dead because it did not give, and it's still not grown. So therefore, another lesson in storytelling, the power of storytelling, is giving. We give, we share, and we do all this to create a better tomorrow, to create a better world, to make a difference to that world. With these words, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity, and I'm sorry you had to endure me because the other storyteller could not log in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Neena ma'am. You're wonderful as usual. So we have 2 questions for you from Ms. Satya and Henna.
Good morning, ma'am. I am Henna.
Yes, Henna.
Bringing in storytelling as a subject in the inbuilt curriculum of our education system. What is your
Storytelling actually has a lot of impact. And without storytelling, I remember my teachers. There was this biology teacher who made biology so interesting. And I remember everything about how the human body works, because for everything she told us a story. So therefore, with this story, we could actually relate every time. Even now when I remember, when I think of the heart, I remember the story that she told me. We had Mr. Anil Swarup tell us that we had his, he remembered two stories from the Panchanchatra. So even each and every one of us would have that. We would remember stories which people have told us. So that is the power of storytelling. We don't have to look anywhere. There's no textbook needed. There's nothing needed. Just look at our own lives, internalize, look around the story. And every stories, every day would impact us in some way. Right? Today, the story that our VC told us impacted us. Today's stories which every individual has would impact us in some way or the other. So we do not need a textbook to tell us storytelling is important. There's no need for anybody to tell us. Storytelling is important, is here to stay, and those who tell stories will rule the world. Thanks, Hannah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ma'am, my question is, what's the best book that you have read, ma'am?
Oh, I have read lots of books. I've read amazing numbers, many books. But one of the best books recently that I've read is Eat, Pray, Love, which is written by Elizabeth Gilbert. And this is her story. A woman, she's an author. She is actually a reporter in the United States of America. And this book of hers is absolutely amazing. The second book that I really liked the past 1 year is Becoming by Michelle Obama. One should read because there's so much of learning that can be got from these two books, especially for women. Thanks, Satya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Happy morning, Satya and Hannah.
Happy morning, ma'am. This is Arul Priya. Can we talk, ma'am?
Yes, Sarul Priya. Yes.
What are the basic qualities of a
You cannot tell it properly. So the first thing is passion, love for the story. You actually think of the audience. Like if it is children, you've got to see what they would like and how they would like it, because they would like it with a lot of action, with a lot of, maybe with a lot of songs, a lot of stories, a lot of imagination, etc. But
everybody told stories, so it was a family of storytellers. So storytelling was a part of my life, and I guess along with the other things, I think this also added on to me, because they were always told stories during mealtime, and I think along with food, I think I also ate the stories, and like the other systems inside us, I think I have a story system, which I think is now coming out. So we are all storytellers. All of us are storytellers. Because everyday life we emote, and none of us are past. How was your day today? We don't speak like that. We have a lot of emotions when we speak, and but when it comes to storytelling, people, I don't know what makes them so stiff. They think they're trying to say. You don't even tell a story. You feel the story, and through the stories, you start bonding with them. You start connecting with them. And the story goes from heart to heart, not from head to head. That's when right in your palms, they're right inside your palms, right there. They're just there, wanting to talk, wanting to share. But on the other side, once upon a time, there lived a king. He was a very greedy king. Come on, listen to the story, don't talk. Sense? It cuts the flow of the story and remind you, children, not only children, any listener will switch off when you go off the story, when you have these things. And then we also have a very bad habit. As we progress through the story, suddenly we will say, you know what happened? Do you know what happened? How would I know? You are telling the story. You know, they can taste, they can hear, they can see, all of that. All the spiritual leaders, politicians, great orators, they are all right brain, inventors, all